Everybody has their story, and sometimes how we grow and expand as a result of these stories can lay the groundwork for a greater calling or pathway in life. I was a very shy child. I grew up in an alcoholic family dynamic, and as many of us know, that can breed shame and secrets. Passive aggressive interactions and emotionally painful silent treatments were what my parents modeled for my brother and I. There was no real talking to clear things up. We were not taught to honor our feelings or taught how to express them or to talk through problems or disagreements. But I am still very clear that my wonderful parents were really just continuing that cycle of what they had learned from their parents. Music and singing were my escape, absolutely my safe place. Through taking voice lessons from the age of 13 on, I found a world of expression in the beautiful music of classical voice. One Christmas Eve, when I was 17 years old, my dad and I were arguing. He had come home kind of tipsy and drunk, and I worked up the courage to say, "Dad, you're an alcoholic." And to that, he slapped me across the face, of course, because I confronted him. I ran out of the house and called my boyfriend, and he picked me up, and we did some last-minute Christmas shopping. That was the last time I saw my dad alive. Christmas morning, a somber state trooper came to break the news that he had died in a car accident on a snowy highway that morning. Apparently, he left after our argument. About a decade later, my mom was told that she had cancer. When she was told that she had only maybe a few months to live, she chose not to share that with my brother and I. We only found out the day she died at the hospital that she wanted to be let go and not kept alive. Less than a year later, my younger brother, William, who had been previously diagnosed as bipolar, committed suicide after spiraling down into a much deeper depression after the death of our mom. I remember hiding in my clothes closet in the fetal position. I just couldn't stand the feeling of being in my body. I thought the grief was going to kill me. My grief was something that I was told really to get over by several people. Get past it. I had the perception that people were very uncomfortable with my feelings of grief. I think people are in general. They don't know what to say or do. And it was almost viewed as a negative way of being. So I kind of disavowed those feelings. I pushed them away, and it made me afraid to feel. Even through that, I sought out the help of a wonderful grief counselor who told me to use her couch pillows to release the pain by yelling into them at the top of my voice. And it worked. It really worked. As I continued my performing career, I became more and more comfortable with opening up my voice and sharing it with others. Sharing my voice through singing helped me develop a sense of empowerment and self-esteem, sort of a coming into my own power. The study of voice is very confronting. Voice is a very exposed art form. You can't hide. And it helped me to start the journey of shedding the layers of protection that I had surrounded myself with. As I said, it didn't allow me to hide anymore. And I know I was literally bathed in the beautiful vibrations of my own voice for all of those years, and that helped to clarify and transmute the energy of that trauma and the grief of my younger life. Teaching voice for 20 years also taught me to become a really good listener, among other things, and to consciously listen to the sounds of my students' voices to be able to identify vocal issues. I taught a lot of young teenagers and also became a mentor to my students and saw how they became more poised, more confident, more centered. They would step out more and take more risks at school. And they would share with me that they felt better about themselves since taking lessons. I also taught a course called Do You Love to Sing at adult ed centers. People would gather in the group. We'd have a circle, and they would share stories about the trauma surrounding their voice. And when they would get up in front of the class to sing, even though it was difficult for them, with many singing through tears, they would still share that it was one of the most cathartic and healing experiences they had. After my training in sound therapy with instruments and voice, I could not have predicted the awakening and expansion that I have found in myself and my clients through working with sound. This inspired me to develop a one-on-one program that I call Crystalline Voice. This is a combination of sound therapy and intuitive voice work. Many of my clients have had and are still having profound breakthroughs using their voices to release limiting beliefs and shame. So through my own experiences and those of my students and clients, I found that our voices have the capacity to open up something so much deeper within us and can give us a glimpse into our inner landscape. As I said earlier, because of my life path, I feel it is my calling to be of service and help raise awareness of the greater healing potentials of our own embodied voice.